I'm sure at some point within the last 6 months, 12 months, maybe even the last few years, you've asked yourself, why does Instagram keep on changing?
Why?
We talk a lot about Instagram updates on this channel, but I rarely dive into the topic of why all these updates are coming to fruition. So in today's video, that's exactly what we're going to do. And don't worry, I'm also gonna be sharing a few new updates along the way. This video is brought to you by HubSpot, more on them later. So one of the most important things that you need to know about Instagram at the moment is that it's reached the maturity stage of their product lifecycle. That's right, guys, get your marketing hats back on. I haven't done this for a while in my videos, but we're gonna dive into some marketing theory just to kick us off. I actually spoke about this during a recent talk that I did at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. And I had so many great conversations with people afterwards that I realized that it really stuck and it really resonated, right? Essentially, the product life cycle is the cycle that products go on throughout their lifetime. So if you look at this graph here that was created by Good Rebels, you can actually see Instagram's product life cycle. And what you can see is the fact that obviously during its time of its first launch back in 2010, it shot up. It was super popular, loads of people were using it. It then reached its growth phase around 2015, its acceleration phase around 2018, 2020, and now we're in its maturity phase. This is a problem for Instagram because most products start to severely dip when it comes to product interest and how many people are actually using it. This is usually the time where products start to see a huge dip in their uptake. And that is exactly what happened to Instagram. Newbies came on the scene, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, etc. And what this meant was that Instagram's engagement started to dip. This is exactly where we are right now. We are still very much in the maturity stage of Instagram's life cycle. And what happens after the maturity phase, you might be wondering, well, next up is its downfall, followed by reinvention. What Instagram are currently doing is they're trying to fast forward past the downfall part of their product life cycle, and they're trying to get to reinvention. This, I believe, is one of the main reasons why they are consistently coming up with new features and new updates. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, that brings us on to my second point. My second point is TikTok won't stop changing, so why should Instagram? Now, it's no secret that social media companies copy each other, right? We're all aware of this. This has been a strategy that every social media platform has been doing for at least a few years. TikTok and Instagram have a very special relationship though, because TikTok is such a direct threat. It's probably their most direct competitor that's currently on the market, and it hasn't been around for very long. If we go back to my previous point about where Instagram is in their product life cycle, you can assume that TikTok are not in the same place as Instagram. Instagram is in the maturity phase, TikTok is in the acceleration phase, which means TikTok is in a far more favorable position. A great stat which really demonstrates this is the average time spent on TikTok at the moment is 52 minutes. Can you guess what the average time spent on Instagram is? The average time spent on Instagram is 30 minutes. And if you are a social media enthusiast like I am, you'll know that one of the most important metrics when it comes to a social media platform's ability to survive is how long people spend on their platform. The longer someone spends on one social media platform, the more successful that platform will be. So what will Instagram do to try and rectify this issue? Well, they're going to take notes from TikTok. Here are a few updates that have come on the scene in recent months which just demonstrate this point. And pay attention because some of these you might not even know about yet. The first one, and please keep in mind that all of these are technically in testing, so some people will have access to these and some people won't. But the first is upping the amount of photos and videos you can include in your carousels. Previously, the limit was 10, and that has been a limit for a really long time. But then what did TikTok do? They introduced carousels, and they allowed people to upload up to 35 images to their carousels, which prompted people to use carousels in a different way to how they were using them on Instagram. Now, if you come across carousels on TikTok, they're often used to tell a story. And the more content included in that carousel, the more engagement that post often gets, and you guessed it, the longer people spend going through that content, which equates to more time spent on that platform. So what does Instagram do as a result? Well, they decide to make yet another change and actually test the ability to upload 15 photos or videos as part of your carousels rather than just 10. Another recent update which furthers this even more is the update which will allow us to actually have our carousels appear in the Reels feed. So you know when you're scrolling through your Reels tab at the moment, carousels will appear there. Why is that such a big deal? Well, because it's similar to how TikTok uses their algorithm and how TikTok promotes carousels. What it will mean is that when you're uploading carousels to your Instagram channel, you will be able to benefit from the Reels algorithm. And if you didn't know already, the Reels algorithm is designed to help you reach a broader group of people. So actually, carousels might soon become something that will help you grow versus something that was previously best for engagement. The third example of a recent update that Instagram are testing, which is very similar to the direction that TikTok are going in, is 3-minute Reels. Now, I personally, I'll hold my hands up here because I'm pretty sure I predicted that they would announce this like a year ago. I think they've really dragged their feet with this. honest, I think the reason why some platforms are less willing to allow you to upload videos that are more than a minute or 90 seconds is actually to do with the music licensing. I think some platforms struggle to get the music license they need so that you can actually create these reels and short form videos with songs that last longer than a minute or 90 seconds. But regardless of that, Instagram are testing 3-minute reels. As you probably know, you can currently upload videos on TikTok that are up to 10 minutes, up to 30 minutes for some people. Will Instagram copy that too? Maybe. Hey guys, Future Jade here. Whilst we're talking about why Instagram won't stop changing, it's important to talk about the broader world of social media and the fact that it really is important that we stay up to date with all of the changes coming to the industry in order for us to stay ahead. When we, as creators, stay up to date with social media trends, we're able to do so many different things. We can effectively engage our audience, we can remain relevant, and we can adapt our content to resonate with current interests and preferences. But I get it, I understand how difficult keeping up to date with these trends can be, and don't worry, I've got a free resource which is going to help you. The resource is HubSpot's 2024 Social Media Trends Report, and as I mentioned, it's completely free. It's basically an ebook, and it covers everything from community building, social commerce, AI, sorry, can you see that curtain moving? Don't worry, I don't have a ghost, it's my dog. Content creation, social search, and it's designed to help you and I improve our content and grow our social media presence. Here are some of the most notable trends included in this report, because these are the ones which really blew me away, because they came with receipts as well, guys. The first one is all about e-commerce, specifically that social media apps are transitioning into e-commerce platforms. So we've all seen those TikTok shop ads, right? Like that's what I'm referring to. The report actually states that approximately 80% of social media marketers note that consumers prefer to buy products through social media platforms versus visiting the brand's website or shopping through a third party like Amazon. 80%. The report also states that there's been a huge shift where brands actually prefer to work with micro influencers and creators over mega celebrities or mega creators. In fact, only 10% of brands work with celebrities or influencers who have more than 1 million followers. I think you guys are going to absolutely love the section all about AI content creation. It includes valuable insights which will help you create better quality content for your audience using AI. All right, my loves, if you want to get your hands on this free report, which I'm sure that you do, head to my link in my description. Guys, my dog is currently in her box. She has like a toy box that she likes to dig in. So if you can hear that, you've just got to ignore it because she's not coming out. Okay. She's out now. So before we talk about the things that you can actually do in response to all of these changes, I do want to make one final point in regards to why these changes are happening. We have to face up to the fact that our requirements from a social media platform, especially Instagram, have massively changed over time. Previously, when Instagram first launched back in 2010, all we wanted to use the app for was to share photos to our friends and family. What a simpler time. Like that was literally the reason why we were using Instagram. Now, the reasons why we use Instagram are far more convoluted. Sure, some of us still want to use Instagram to share content with our friends and family, 100%. However, a lot of us use Instagram as a marketing channel. So we use it as a way to reach a broader audience. Some of us now use it as a way to discover content from new people that they weren't previously aware of. Others use it as a way to earn an income. And as a result of that, what we need from Instagram has changed over time as well. We no longer just need the ability to upload a photo and whack a filter on it. We now need far more. We need different tools for creativity. We need different ways in which we can earn an income through subscriptions or bonus programs. We also need tools in place to make sure that children are safe on the app. There are so many different things that we now require from Instagram. And as those requirements change, because they are changing, Instagram will have to consistently change with it. So a few examples of updates that Instagram have had to release as a result of our demands from the platform changing. Do you guys remember when they first released the recommended posts? So back in the day, if you can think back to like 2 years ago, when you went on your home feed, you were only seeing content from your friends and family. But then they made a change to the algorithm where we could now see content that Instagram has just decided that we might like, and that will appear on our home feed. More often than not, that content is from people who we don't already follow. This feature was actually released in response to our changing requirements. We decided that we wanted to reach more people. We wanted the ability to go viral on Instagram like we can on TikTok. So Instagram came up with a way in which to allow a few people to do that. And that was by pushing their content onto the home feeds of others, even if they're not following them. New updates also include things like new parental controls, which allow parents to monitor the activities of their teens on their platform. A most recent shift in the things that we need from Instagram is that a lot of us are using Instagram as a way to share content privately with our audience, right? We now use Instagram primarily to share content through DMs. So as a result to that, Instagram have released a bunch of new updates. You can now share files through your DMs. You can share voice notes through DM. You can create broadcast channels. They even are testing something called Flipside, which I talk about in this video, which will allow you to have an alternative Instagram profile, which is only accessible to a private small group of people. At the end of the day, as our demands and our requirements continuously change, Instagram are going to continuously change with it. So what do we do about it? So there's a few things we can do. The first is we want to try and stay in the know. Now, I hate for this to be like a plug section of the video, but I do have a lot of resources which will help you stay in the know. So I'm going to plug my stuff anyway, okay? The first resource you can use to stay in the know is my YouTube channel. I upload videos where I break down Instagram's most recent updates on a regular basis. So if you subscribe to this channel and you turn on your notification bells, you can ensure that you'll be one of the first people to watch those videos. I also have a weekly newsletter where every single Friday, myself and my team will answer your questions, we'll share new opportunities with you, and we will break down the week's hot topic when it comes to social media and content creation, in addition to a few other news articles which are worth noting. Last but not least, if you really want to stay in the know, you can join my membership, The Collective. Inside The Collective, we have a community channel which is dedicated to sharing news with you so that you can always make sure that you know what's happening in the creator economy as soon as it happens. The next thing I want you to do is to try new features that seem like the right fit. Now, keep in mind that this advice, especially for me, is different to what my advice previously would be. A few years back, I would say, if Instagram releases a new feature, then you have to be one of the first people to use it. However, that advice has changed, and it's changed because the sheer amount of new features that Instagram releases. So instead, my advice is now to test the features that seem like the right fit for your channel. For example, broadcast channels are now a thing, and if you don't know what they are, I'm sure you've received notifications of people like inviting you to theirs already, but they're basically group chats where you can send messages to thousands of people at once. They can't respond to you, but they can interact with what you're saying. See, that is a really great feature for a lot of people. If this aligns with your brand and with your objectives, then use it. But if it doesn't, then don't. See what I'm saying? Basically, don't use things for the sake of it. Like, make sure it actually works for you. Third and final thing that I want you to do is to not panic. We're all in the same boat. I know it can be so overwhelming when it feels like there are so many updates and it's like, how on earth am I supposed to stay up to date with all this stuff? But hopefully it will reassure you to know that everyone feels that way. Don't for a second feel like you're the only one not being aware of all these updates and you're the only one who isn't utilizing these different new features. You're not. I'm actually willing to bet that you're actually ahead of a lot of people because you're watching this video. So don't panic. When a new feature is uploaded, as I said before, it doesn't mean you have to use it. Only use the ones that really suit you. And know that the essence of a successful Instagram channel remains the same. If you are sharing high quality content which resonates with your audience, you will see success whether you're using the latest shiny feature or not. All right, that's it for today's video. I would love to hear what you think about Instagram's new changes in the comment section below. Don't forget that you can grab your free social media trends report by HubSpot via the link in the description. If you feel like hanging around, I recommend watching this video. It's all about the broader changes that are coming to social media this year and beyond. So it is a must watch video. Thank you so much for watching as always. I can't wait to see you in my next video.